Alrighty. We got this plan. Alright, I think that's good. Last day of porcelain. We're just about there. I'm so excited. It'd be kind of nice that I don't have to worry about the stuff no more. A little bit loud, I know. Maybe right about here. I'll turn this down a little bit. Okay. Oh, I got a couple of people already saying hello. Dang, you guys got in so quick. I literally just started. Alright, give me a moment. Sometimes I don't know if I should, I've seen some videos of people streaming where they have like a countdown. I feel like maybe I should have like start the stream and have like a 5-minute countdown to when it actually starts, you know? Especially since I don't have like a schedule. So my schedule is that sometime during the day I will be streaming. Alright, there's one. I have this one over here. Wedge again. Again, we're just wedging this up. This is some spiral wedging I'm doing right now. You can see it kind of looks like a spiral. The key is you're only messing around with this chunk, right? It's really helpful for larger amounts of clay. Like if you ever see people wedging giant amount of clay, they'll almost never be wedging it like a ram's head wedging style. It'll usually be something like a spiral wedge. Here's our second one. We got one more. I could have it at pottery shell. There you go. Okie dokie. Which one's the cleanest? Probably this one. So we'll set it here on this one. Is that as tiring as it looks? It's actually not too tiring. When you wedge for a really long time it is, but just a couple is fine. You know, if I'm ever making like a lot of stuff, what I'll do is I'll wedge like, you see these buckets here? Like these buckets? I'll probably wedge like 2 to 3 buckets full of clay, right? Like clay balls. And so I can just grab one and just keep on going. I don't have to stop and wedge, right? And so that way you can just kind of work at your own pace. But here, let me spin this wheel. Okay. Camera A. I feel like that's a little bit too fast. It's kind of like giving me like a little nervous energy. Even that's a little bit nervous. That's better. See, now it's kind of calm. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start the stream here. Camera's low battery. That's not good. I hope it doesn't die here. Green on. Good morning, chili dogs. What you focus on grows. Feed them horses. 3 more pots coming your guys' way. Last day of porcelain, and then we're gonna swap back over to stoneware. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into it. We've had it, you know, as much as I hate porcelain, we've had some pretty good days of porcelain the past couple days. So we're just going to keep on cruising. We're going to keep on doing it. I'll see you guys over there in a second. Green, off. Camera C. Sweet. So chances are when I do the Pottery review, I'm going to have to change that battery, which will suck. So, but we'll see. One day I'll have it so I don't ever have to change any batteries. Be the dream come true. How much water is in there? We could probably get some new stuff here. Okay. 1 second, guys. We just want to work with some less clay-filled water. My hands. I'm going to tilt this over here. Let's start getting after it. Camera A. 3, 2, 1. Camera C. Camera B. Push down. Let's get started here. I think I gotta bring this pedal back towards me a little bit too. It seems like it's getting a little bit too much out of the way there. Let's have some water right on this bottom edge. You can see I'm trying to get rid of any of those undercuts there. I'm gonna push down. I feel like I sealed some air. But we're just gonna keep on cruising and go straight up. Oh, see? I didn't do a good job. Whenever you have something like that happen, you just gotta make sure when you push this back down that there's no water on there. And then I also wanna make sure I don't seal any air, so I round that off, right? Now I'm gonna go back down. There we go. So I'm down at the bottom, and at that base, and I'm pushing up. Here we go. That's that first one. A little bit more water right on that top. Go right down. Pull this up. I'm starting to notice that I have some weird bumps happening on this top, right in this area. So I'm going to go down, so I'm going up one more time. That base. Get ready. Slowly moving this up. Down here. Camera A. Right down to the base. There we go. This one didn't really have too much wobble. It was a bit thicker. And so when it's thicker, it's not going to want to get off center as much as long as you have that consistent pressure there. Bring this down. Here we go. Grab your hammer fist. Camera C. right on this top. I'm always pushing my left hand in. You always see, where's my left hand? Do you see how my wrist is never like this? It's never back like this. It's always kind of like this, right? And I'm pushing forward. Look at where my elbow's at, right in my hip, right? And so I'm down. I'm out to the side here very slowly. You slowly walk all that off-center clay right into this hand, and there you go, right on center. Slowly open up this middle part, right? Sometimes the middle is a thing that, I don't know, I believe that it gets off center pretty easily. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll have my finger, another finger right on the outside edge here, kind of making sure those two fingers on the inside are staying kind of still. The top is a little bit wonky there. We just gotta kind of cut that clay off, but making sure that we have a nice base to work off of before we start cutting into the clay. Get some water, I'm gonna fill up that pond, and I'm gonna hook my fingers right underneath. I'm using my fingertips, right, my fingertip here, right, to cut through that clay. A little more water again, the base, right out to this edge. There we go, nice. Smooth out that clay on the bottom there. Again, smooth out that clay right at that bottom there, right to this edge. Nice. Round this top off. This isn't my normal sponge. Is this my normal sponge? I feel like I use a different sponge than this. Right? I can't even remember. It's okay though. I'm getting some of that water out of that corner there. Bro did it again, really caught out of work and ate more clay. Oh, I see. You're just making a joke. I was like literally trying to analyze what you were talking about for a second. Well, that's okay. You know, sometimes it happens. You know, the clay, it will just speak to you. Alright, so I'm slowly taking my llama here. Llama didn't come out to talk with us yet, but he will later on the next one. He's slowly walking this in, and we'll swap over to camera B. I don't know why, but this music kind of feels like a chase scene from Scooby-Doo, like if it was like a modern Scooby-Doo. A little bit of water on this interior here, open up that clay. Somebody says, hi, how your day? My day okay. Oh, there's the other sponge. This is the sponge I was looking for. This is the sponge I like. My day is okay. Right now I have some people outside. They're putting a new windshield on my car, which is like so weird that people can come to your place to repair your windshield. It's kind of crazy. So just kind of cool. I had a crack on my windshield from a semi truck and I had to get it repaired. And so I called the insurance company and I don't have to pay anything. It's kind of crazy. Alright. I color this in. We're gonna get ready for another pole here, making sure we still have that volcano base right at this bottom. Push this in. So you can see that line that's forming there. That's really annoying because that's the sponge. That's literally the tip of the sponge here was cutting, making those lines. So that's kind of the reason why you don't want lines is because then those lines are a channel for your finger to go back into, right? And so usually what I like to do is I actually like to make sure that I don't create those lines right away, but I get them at this base and paused here. And I walk that bump up. So sometimes it gets a little bit annoying to do those pulls, but especially with this porcelain, it really wants to grip onto my finger pads a lot more. So sometimes that friction or that tension, it's a little nerve-wracking. Where on other clay bodies, it's more of just like slides and peels through. This kind of has a rubbery texture. I feel like that's very normal for porcelain to have that. It feels like you're throwing with rubber. Okay. You have that base kind of established, and you're gonna walk that up. I'm gonna be gentle when I get to this top, going outwards again. So you can see how that kind of works. I'm getting ready. Have some water on my fingers. Right out to the top edge here. There we go. There we go. Right down to the bottom edge here. I'm slowly going to pull this outwards. No, I'm not going to get any more white clay after this. This is literally it. No more. I just think that it's so sterile, it's so finicky. Like, I feel like a lot of people like it because it's the thing to like, right? And I'm like such a nonconformist sometimes, so I don't even want to go near porcelain after this. But I have been having a good couple days. I think the past 4 days I've been using the porcelain, and every day I've had some pretty good pots. I thought I would struggle with the height. But the clay's pretty hard, so it actually ended up being okay. But I don't like porcelain. Bring this up. Just have this, maybe one more little pull that we can do with the skirt here. I think we'll probably do some tendril cuts on this one, so throw these up. I actually do think my pedal has kind of gotten a little bit stiff. I think I gotta probably clean it, or I don't know, have some WD-40 on there. Because sometimes it just stops when it shouldn't. Then again, it shouldn't. It's not really a big deal as long as it spins, right? But sometimes I like the feeling of when your foot in the wheel, kind of like, it's almost like your foot becomes the wheel at some point when you get really locked into a pole or a moment. And I like those moments a lot. Okay, we're just smoothing out those corners. We're going to keep them wider because I kind of like how that looks. I'm going to go right down to this bottom. I'm going to take off some of this water. There we go. That's number one. I'll see you guys in a second. Goated 1. Camera C. Camera B. Let's go. Somebody asked me, do I sell the stuff I make? No, I don't sell anything I make. I'll give it away sometimes to people, right? But I don't sell it. Right down to the bottom edge. I'm gonna push this up. Again, I'm using that left hand, I'm projecting that clay forward, and I'm gonna bring this up. I got a little wobble here, so I'm gonna bring this back down. Curl this around one more time. Alright, I think we're good. Camera A. Right down to this base. So I went really thin right there, so that's bad news. So instead of doing kind of like a crazy little whip around, I'm just going to tilt it just a little bit here. We got to be very slow because right in this bottom section where my pinky's at, it's where it's going to tear. As long as we're slow and consistent, not adding more pressure than what is needed to bring that clay down, should be okay. There we go. We're going to swap over to camera C. Hammer fist coming down over top. There we go. Push our fist down. Always keep our left hand on that left third there. I'm slowly walking that fist back. Using my thumb that's projecting over top of the clay, this thumb, as like a rail for that fist to come over top of. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Green Waffle Private. It should have been Private Green Waffle. I feel like that would have been cool. Alright. Headgear fucking goated, by the way. That's so funny. I love that. Thank you. I want to get a new head camera because this thing always dies and it's just, it overheats too. My limit for it filming is like an hour and then it'll just overheat. Slowly take my fingers, I'm going to bring this back. Open this up. Using my fingers, it's kind of like a knife tool, right? Sweet. Smooth out that base. Wheel. Camera A. So you can see my hands from another angle. I'm always starting from that middle and I'm pushing that over to the side corner here. This corner is really important. I want to have a little bit of an undercut, but I want to make sure I don't fold the clay over itself, right? Because imagine if you have your two fists here, but right now I have all this clay in between it. Maybe my hands would normally stick together, but now that there's clay in between, it doesn't want to stick, right? So you always want to make sure you don't have that wet clay in between two dry chunks of clay, because then it's not going to want to become one piece. Take some of that water out of that interior. Again, I'm going to smooth this out. Make sure I have a corner. A lot of people round off their corners right where that base meets that wall. I keep that pretty... You can even see that line. Do you see how that lines and then it's the wall? That's what I'm aiming for. Do I have any tips for young artists? By the way, I love your art and your vibe. Yeah, I don't even know if I'd call myself an artist. I think right now, like, it's just such a complicated world right now. Like this art, the idea of art. And what makes somebody an artist. Like, I don't even like to think about that stuff, you know, but I do like to make things because for me it helps me overcome something that I feel like I'm lacking, right? Like it's my version of building confidence, right? And so I don't even know if I'm in a position where I have I can give you tips, you know what I mean? I'm still trying to figure it out, right? But I think if there's any tip, it's just keep on trying to figure it out, right? You might not ever find out the answers or anything, but I think it's a noble pursuit, and while you're pursuing how to figure out your work and your life, I'm also going to be doing that, and so by pursuing that, work together, if that makes sense. Okay. We're going to go over to Llama. What's up, guys? It's me, Llama here. We're going to get into another volcano pole. We'll see you guys in a second. Let's get into it. Camera B. Llama's gonna bite right on that top rim, slowly bringing his back towards myself as my left hand is slowly pushing forward, right? It's not that I'm bringing them close to center, right? It's I'm bringing them past center. They're both going past center, and that's what's gonna build this volcano, right? Somebody asked me how did I first get into pottery. I gave up on a lot of my other pursuits, right? Like I wanted to be an animator, then I wanted to be like a gallery artist, drawer, and then I was like, no, I can't do either of those, and I gave up, and then I found pottery, and I was like, all right, no more giving up. And that's kind of how the whole, obviously there's more to that story, but that's kind of the gist of it, right? I'm gonna bring my knuckle right down. I'm slowly gonna walk this over and bring this inwards here, just slowly walking this up. We gotta remember your first couple pulls aren't really for anything other than to, man, I got a lot of water or a lot of clay is dripping from my thing. But the first pulls are really just for getting those walls equalized, right? So what music am I listening to? It's a playlist. I don't even know what I would call this music. Wow. Almost just tripped. Let's see. What is this music called? It's called A Playlist to Stop Seeing the Silhouettes at 4 a.m. Kind of like edgy. It kind of reminds me of doomer music, to be honest. But it has a nice vibe to it. Alrighty. Am I a pottery teacher? Yeah, I teach at 4 different places right now. Alright, so I push this in at the base, and I slowly walk my hand up over top of my fingers. Now that my fingers are up over top, you'll see you have this little bump that's given to you by the clay. And then your whole thing is that you're just going to slowly walk this up, right? And you want to feel the resistance, you want to feel the tension of the clay, and you kind of ride that tension, almost like, imagine it's like surfing, right? Like you feel the wave through the board, right? In that same way, you know, you have to kind of feel that tension through the clay, right? That force, right? The wave is the force, the clay is the force. And our hands are the boards. Right down to the bottom one more time. A little bit of water. Okay, find this little bump. Going out wider on that top. Less tension. Alright, somebody asked how much is the pottery setup I have? I don't know. Are you like including the cameras or just the pottery stuff? And why are you asking? Are you asking because you're interested or just curious? You know, like if you're interested on what you could do to get started, you can ask me that question. But it would take me a little bit to think about everything. And what's the line for something, right? Pottery Demon brings more to Satan than to Jesus, and that's why you don't have an actual client base or community. Alright. I always like those. That's somebody who doesn't know the origin story of the Pottery Demon. But that's okay. Is someone else controlling the cameras, or is it being voice activated? No, it's being voice activated. Somebody said, "Bro, why do you not read my comments?" What'd you say? I didn't even see what you said. Just the pottery and you're interested. Okay. This wheel is probably around, $1,000, $1,200, right? But you can get a nice wheel. There's something called a Shimpo Aspen wheel that you can get for around $600. It's a small wheel, it's a tabletop wheel, and you can really do a lot on that wheel, I think. You don't want to get a super cheap Amazon one, like do some research on it. That's why I like that Shimpo Aspen wheel. And then, what's it called? Yeah, I feel like that's all you really need. And clay. You can download a website called Kilnshare, and then you can use that to, get your stuff fired, right? So as long as you have a wheel and clay, you only need like 4 tools. I have this knife tool, I have a wire tool, a sponge, and a rib tool. These are like your main staple tools. Anything else you don't really need, in my opinion. That's just like for specialized things. But you could probably get a nice pottery setup for like less than $1,000. It's still a lot of money, but if you're really interested into it, go try out a class first. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4. Okay. So it's going to twist really easily on the top, right? And so it's going to be a top twist, I'm assuming. It's just thinner there, so you can see how that just twists on this top there. And then I have some water. I need to get some more water on my fingers here. There we go. Slow down, kiss that rim. There we go. Yeah, of course. Can you make a bowl or something simple? No, this is just part of the thing for every single day. I want to make sure I do my trees. So I'm almost at a whole entire year of doing the trees every single day and recording and posting them. So kind of crazy. So I'm just going to be doing the trees today. That's kind of my thing. I have some clay underneath here that's kind of bumping into this, right? Wow, 365 trees? I've done more than that. I've done like more than 1,000. I do 3 a day, So right now I'm already over 1,000 of these trees. So this is starting to tilt. You can see it's wanting to really lean over, so we got to be careful. We might have to realign this, but maybe not. Right now I'm just trying to get this bottom part figured out. I think I do have to realign this top. Or you know what? Maybe we just do something on the bottom and then we'll cut through there. When you have time, could we please see the tree where... Oh yeah, we can do that. This would probably be a good one to do that with. Let's see which side is it dipping down over. Okay, we'll throw it here. Okay. There's one. I'm gonna get ready for our second one here. I can do one of those. So this is one where I always think if I do a double tendril, I can start using this twist as a way to bring gesture into the objects here, right? So we got that one here. And then if I wanted this to hold up its head, I'm going to have it go over this way. And this one's a little bit longer, so thankfully I can bring these closer together here. And I can start bringing this one right up here. So there we go. And I'm going to just kind of smooth this out as I'm going. You can see that's kind of where it's holding its head up. It's almost like it's looking outside on a rainy day through the window, right? I'm just thinning out some of this edge here. I just want to make this edge on this bottom look a little bit cleaner. And then sometimes I'll dance with it a little bit, right? So we're gonna pop it up and we're gonna little wave, pop it up, little wave, right? And there we go. I call this one done. How big can I make these? It really depends. Sometimes, you know, I could probably go just a little bit bigger, but then I would say that I'd have to do other things, or I'd have to wait, or I'd have to use a torch to heat it up, so then it doesn't fully collapse, right? Alright, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna swap over to camera A. Pottery shell. So this is the second one of the day. Oh man, it's getting a little bit stuck. I'm gonna do another little short for you guys, and I'll see you for the last one of the day, guys. So, Goated 1.
Super Saiyan. Or you can just call this a Super Saiyan 2.
Has he really found a way to surpass an ascended Saiyan? Is that possible?
And this is to go even further beyond.
Camera C. Camera B. Let's go. Somebody said, do I have to slip and score the twist once it dries, or since it's so wet it's no big deal? Since it's so wet it's no big deal. Yeah, you're totally on the money there. So you've definitely done some pottery stuff before. Talking about the slip and scoring, yo, look at this. Are you a hand builder or are you a thrower? That one has little arms, yeah, so funny. Alright, here we go. Pushing in one more time at this base. I'm just gonna bring this up. I have some wobbles here, so I'm just gonna slowly some water on there. Bring this back down, out, and then up a little bit. Catch it, and then bring this up. I've been really into throwing lately, so cool. Yeah, throwing's the best. I love it. Somebody said they just finished a 6-week pottery class. So cool. And so I bring this up. Alright, can go one more. Camera A. Project that forward, and then slowly, as you're going up, Just slowly walk this little bump up. Allow the clay or the wheel to do the work. And here you go. Bring this down. Whenever it starts to wobble, catch that wobble, then bring that back up to that left hand. Back down. Get ready. Swap over. Round this out and around. Make sure it doesn't fall on that bottom. Camera C. Here we go. Our hammer fist right on top. I'm slowly bringing this down. A key with throwing, right, is look at where my hand is. A lot of people will fold their wrist, they'll break their wrist here, right? And then look what's happening. The clay's coming around this way, right? So then your pressure is going through this middle. Some of it's going to be catching the clay, some of it's going to be leaving the clay. That's not a really great place to be, right? Because you're messing with two forces, that oncoming and the leaving, right? Sometimes people have their whole hand over here and they're just pushing the leaving stuff, right? You want to have your wrist so it's not bent. You keep your wrist, you're using your body weight to push it in, right? I'm keeping my body weight projecting that clay forward, not towards the center, forward. It's catching the clay that's coming into the hand, and I'm slowly going to take my fist, I'm down, I'm going to slowly walk out any of that off-center clay out to that edge, and then it's going to go around, and where's it going to hit, guys? That's right, this hand right here. There you go, you got it right on center. Is clay good for the skin? Maybe. I mean, I think I'm not the right person to ask, because when I first started pottery, for a lot of weeks, my hands would be so dry when I would bend my hands, they would just crack and start bleeding all the time, right? What's good? I'm new here. People tell me you do some crazy special effects. Is that true? I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. If you want me to play another pottery edit, I guess I'll play another pottery edit, but you just gotta ask. So I'm opening this up here, using my fingertips to cut across that base. A lot of teachers tell you to pull this whole chunk out. No, cut through the base, then it's gonna be thinner here, so this is gonna easily come out, right? Don't give yourself more work when you could use your finger to cut rather than your whole hand to pull. Making sure in that corner that I'm not folding any clay. There we go. I'm gonna swap over, and here we go. We got our friend of the stream coming on in, guys. Here we go. Hey guys, it's me, Mr. Llama here. We got one more volcano to do. We're gonna do it right now, and it's gonna be absolutely terrific. Let's get right into it. See you guys in a second. Camera B. I'm going to slowly bite on that rim with that llama. Llama's coming back towards myself as my left hand slowly pushing forward. Always slow and really allowing each layer to sort of get baked, right? Think of it's like a 3D printer. These are your lines. You got to finish printing one layer before you go up one more level, right? Bit of water. Open that up. Go right to the bottom. Grab your knuckle, and you're slowly pushing in that base, pushing in that base, pushing in that base. Your finger's gonna be a little bit above. You're gonna see this little bump. Whoop! I gotta be careful. I almost got to twist it off there. So I'm gonna be right up underneath this little bump, and I'm just slowly projecting this upwards. And I got a little bit too much height there, so I was doing too much, right? Oh, somebody, CJ, some volcanoes in the chat. Thank you so much. So, no name to the song. Okay. Bro, chill out with the song, man. I'll give you the playlist, and I'll give you the song, okay? So, the playlist is called A Playlist to Stop Seeing Silhouettes at 4 a.m., right? And the song, which minute are we at? 45 minutes. It was called Yacht Club down bad. And then right now we're listening to Loverboy Rando, Bury My Dead Body. The names of the songs are pretty edgy, yo. Does that make me edgy? I don't know. There you go, dude. Just look at the playlist. The playlist, yeah. Stop seeing the silhouettes at 4 a.m. That's the name. I always just have the YouTube algorithm choose random playlists for me to play during stream. Okay. Right down at the bottom, slowly pushing in at this base. And we just want to make sure the clay is all nice and equalized. So this is an equalizing pole. Making sure wherever it's thin, I don't go thinner, and wherever it's thick, I kind of thin it out to that thin point there, right? So there we go. I'm old. Do they still call that EBM, dark wave, and synth? I don't know. They have something called dungeon synth now that I think is just really epic. I'm a big dungeon synth fan. Okay, so we're gonna do one more pull here. This is where you kind of take the clay to its limit, right? Get right down to this bottom edge. So you're projecting the clay inwards for that interior finger. Now you're projecting that a little bit up above the exterior finger there. Then you find that tension, and then that's what you're going to be bringing upwards here, right? And then it's like a slug going up to find his next meal. You just take that bump all the way to the top. When you get to the top, I like to go out wide. It's going to go wide when I do the treetop anyway. Also, when you follow that centrifugal force, you're adding less tension, and it's usually wants to stay a little bit more on center there. Okay. A little bit too narrow, so this one might collapse too much, right? But we're going to stay strong. We're going to see what we can get out of this one. I think that should be enough water out of this bottom base. Maybe I could actually get more of this. Kind of kicked out some of it a little bit, right? Every time I hit the walls down there, I'm getting a little bit off, but that's okay. So here we go. Put my finger at this base. Okay. There we go. We gotta twist it up. Now here we go. And this top rim here. Using my fingers. I keep going out wider. You get this kind of rounded too on this top if we want. Really slow, because once this is twisted up, it's really not going to want to listen. It's going to actually want to fall and collapse, right? We can define that a little bit more. Look at that. Nice. I'll push down a little bit. Pull out just a tad more. So this one I think looks really pretty. You can see where there's a point where it's a little bit too thin. It's like this weird line there, but we're not gonna mess with that too much more. Something that I will, you know, even though I'm such a porcelain hater, this porcelain specifically, man, does it really allow me to stretch that clay, and it doesn't want to tear or rip. It really just wants to stretch. So I think that that's something that this clay really has got going for it. Like, it's just so plastic, it's kind of crazy. Okay. Again, I'm rounding off that top, getting ready to kick this bottom edge upwards here. Look at the interior, guys, too. Camera C? So this is that interior. You know, I feel like the interior just looks beautiful. I think a lot of times people don't, what's the word? Make something intentional happen on the interior, right? They don't even play with that interior space, where I think these pots do a good job of doing that, right? I'm just kicking up this bottom edge here. You'll see it in a second. Camera B. Somebody asked me, was pottery something you knew you wanted to do as a little kid? No, I don't think so. No. I actually wanted to just be... What did I want to be as a little kid? For a while, I wanted to be like a professional football player. And then I wanted to do... I wanted to be a professional video gamer. But... we're going to bring these pedals out here. Gotta get one more here. Trying to make sure I bring these in. Sometimes they'll come loose. They don't look as even. Come on, chill out there. Alright. I have some pedals on the base. And so kind of keeping it a little bit wider on that base is really what I want to do with this one, just because I think this top moment is so special. If I have some contrast from the visual silhouette, right? It's wider, kind of goes into its most thin part, then goes back out wide about the same or maybe a little bit less to that top there, right? I'm a computer gamer. That's my thing. Again, these keep coming in here. I'm gonna make sure I pop those in like that. So, there we go. That's number 1. So I'll give you guys one more pottery edit while I get everything prepped here. So, goated 1. Camera A. Oh, this is a vibe, guys. Look at that image right now. Okay. I'll see you guys in a second. I also gotta be quick with this. So guys, give me some energy. And hopefully, say a prayer that this doesn't freaking battery die on this camera here. But here we go. Charge energy. Green on. Start off with this one right here. This one I think is one of the cooler ones I've done in a little bit. That twist on that middle part really, I think, sells that pot to me. A little bit wider, did some pedals on the bottom. Slowly getting tighter, tighter, tighter. Then that super condensed twist right in that middle there, going out a little bit wider and a little bit more gradual than some of the other pots. I think this one is really a nice pot. At least probably the best one I've done in the past 2 days here. Then we got another one. Somebody asked earlier, hey, can you make one with the tangent? No. Green off. Guys, what do we do? I think we'll just have to continue it over here. That's so sad. Even the playlist ended too. It was like, it just wanted a different vibe, I guess. So sad though. It's okay, guys. Don't worry. Sometimes things don't go our way. That's okay. I feel like this music is kind of funny that it played right after that. But if I was to really look at these ones, I'm going to say that this one right here is doing something, well, somebody earlier asked, hey, can you do one where it looks like it's holding up its head? So I did double back to do the double tendrils here. I made 2 of them, and I had them almost holding up that side, right? So they're both on that side there. And so I think it says something pretty interesting right there, you know? And then after that, you know, we got this one on the top. This one on the top is just a very normal pot. It's not too tall, you know, it's not doing anything too crazy. I do think there's a nice contrast, but it's not as nice of a silhouette as this pot, right? But you always got to have the mundane to highlight your extraordinary pots. So these ones are always necessary. I think of my work as, you know, a genre of pots, right? Or I think of it like an album. You know, not every single song in that album is like a good song, right? But you need those songs there to give context. So then those songs that are really good really shine brightly, right? That's how I think about it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. All the best and strong mentality. Alright, so if you guys had questions and I didn't get to them during the stream, pop them down. I'll try to get to some of them. Right now, I'll stay on just for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to go edit the footage from today. Camera C? Is it still on? Camera C? Camera C? Oh, camera C is still cooking, guys. Camera C is usually the one that dies first. So nice job, Camera C. You're doing good. Okay. Alrighty. It's okay, you still ate all 3 of them. Thank you, Michelle. Somebody said they missed it. That's okay, I'll be here tomorrow doing it again. Have you considered adding smaller cups? Similar, I can't see what this next word says. Hold on one second. Similar to the tops kind of staggered around your trunk. Yeah, you know, that's actually a pretty good idea. Right now I'm just making them. I actually have this idea of making like some like bases, like really wide bases, and them being parts of sets, right? So maybe it's a set of just trees, and then maybe I throw like a wolf or a horse, and it's in those trees, right? And so I'm thinking these of all just parts of something larger, but I just want to have a really big library of these stuff right now. And so at the beginning it just started doing 3 trees a day every day for a year, but now it's going to slowly become other ideas as they go along, right? It's this idea of parallel projects. Keep things simple enough so then you can tack them onto other things later on. Almost like you're moving a giant train of ideas forward. Have you ever, no, I already read that one. Someone said peace, man. Thank you so much. Peace to you as well. Yeah, I think your name is so funny. This person's name is Who Cares, and then they just spammed fire emojis. You know, like I feel like the name and the emojis like have a little bit of a juxtaposition there. It's kind of funny, but thank you for the flame. Goodbye, time to sleep. Yeah, I'll see you around. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. How long have I been doing pottery? I've been doing pottery for like 4.5 years now. But yeah, Well, thank you, Potato Loot, I think, or Potato Foot. I can't really tell what your name is. I have some clay on the screen there. Try to make a pot that looks like Shrek. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, everybody. Alright. I'll give you guys one last pottery edit and then I'm heading off, okay? Green. Oh, wait, not green. Goated 1.
It's 100 niggas in the spot. It's 85 just to walk on. I don't keep these niggas. Cause a lot of these niggas be cool. I'm feeling horny. And I shoot like Robert Hood. I'm off this percolated shit. I got a percolated bitch. I can really percolated dick. I show her this percolated tricks. They know who in the city. So nigga, you first to me. So city, so going 50%. I said I feel invisible. It's 100 niggas in the spot. It's 85 just to walk on. I don't keep these niggas. Cause a lot of these niggas be cool. I'm feeling horny. And I shoot like Robert Hood. I'm off this percolated shit. I got a percolated bitch.
Somebody had one last question. There was 2 people. So one person said, you reconnect me with my roots, make me feel home. That's very generous of you to say. I appreciate you saying that. Why do I refer myself as a demon? Okay, so I refer myself as the demon, right? So this is what it's all about. I'll give this and then I'm heading off, okay? So why Pottery Demon? What is this demon, right? When you wake up in the morning, right, and you get out of bed and you go to start your day, and you can hear your bed calling to you, right? And it says, come back, just lay down 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, right? That's the demon, right? It is actively giving you comfort so you don't pursue value, right? It is actively giving you comfort so you do not pursue value. That is a demon. Those are demons, right? And so for me, why is my name Pottery Demon? Well, pottery is a thing that prevents me from giving into that demon, right? And so, like, every single time I come down here, every day, I don't really want to even come down here. I don't even want to throw. I don't want to make pots. But it's something I told myself that I have to do, and it's something that gives me value, right? And so when I have the name Demon with pottery, like Pottery Demon, it's so every single time when I go to type in and, post my videos every day or every time I stream, it's always keeping that in mind that the demon is lurking. Those comforts are always lurking, and you got to be aware of those. And after this year, it's been so cool. I can finally catch myself. Not all the times, right? But sometimes when those moments come, when comfort's coming to take you away from things that fill you with value, I've found that it's easier for me to find and recognize those moments and stop them. But that's kind of the whole entire reason why the name's like that. But all right, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, computer, peace out, guys. See you tomorrow.